Welcome or welcome back to the CNC Advantage. I'm Christy and I'm here with Cooper and we're here to bring you messages from Spirit. This reading is for Scorpio for the first week of June. That's going to take us from June 2nd to the 8th. And just so you know, all of my readings are timeless. So if you don't happen to find it right in June like what was given, just know that if it found you, there's something here for you. So just take it as it resonates and leave the rest for someone else, okay? All right, let's get to it. The energy of your read is the Strength card. So what you have coming, you already have all the strength inside you that you need to face what's coming. So let's see what the first week of June holds for my Scorpios. One thing to remember is when we pull kings or queens, that is not speaking about gender, that is speaking about masculine or feminine energy. And all of us have both, and we're always seeking balance between the two energies, right? What do my Scorpios need to know for the first week of June? What's coming their way? Damn water signs. Always gotta be so tricky, right? Okay, let's see. What do Scorpios need to know right now? Oh, and if you haven't noticed, we finally got our new camper. So Cooper is just wandering about. He owns the whole thing. Every single chair, this, that, da, da, da. So if he wanders off, you'll know why. He's breaking in the whole new camper. All right, what do we have for Scorpios today? All right. We have the Four of Swords and the Two of Swords upright, with the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. So you have a big new opportunity coming in for you at work. It looks like you took the time that you needed to rest, relax, kind of just connect with nature recently. You've been putting back into yourself, and yet you feel like you're under some pressure at work and that there's something you can't quite see. You know, you're wearing a blindfold, you feel like you're kind of being picked at and this and that, right? You've got your defenses up. Kind of look at this card here, right? You feel connected with nature and you feel more whole within yourself, but you feel like there's some external forces that are just kind of out of your control right now. So maybe you have a choice to make on how you can move forward to balance these things out, right? Because the Ace of Pentacles speaks of a big gift at work. I mean, it's a promotion. It's, you know, something of that sort. Basically, that's what I'm hearing right now. So if you keep moving forward and you keep handling these difficult energies, you're going to walk into something really great. You have the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom this time, and it's coming in for the Queen of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So everyone at work, you know, so it looks like you've been doing work on yourself outside of work. And when you do those things, when you go back to work, everyone's going to be like, wow, we're noticing a big difference in you. Did you change your hair? What did you change, you know? And they're going to see like this inner peace in you, that you're handling things in a calmer fashion. You're not getting all frazzled and stuff like that. You're just like sitting there and you're holding your giant pentacle. You're like, yeah, I'm good. I got everything under control. I know how to move forward. I'm at peace. I've been connecting with nature, you know, so thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I have been feeling a lot better. So I'm glad you guys can see it. And the great thing here is that you have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So you got pentacles all over the place right now, right? Upright, that means you're going into a time of despair and struggles and this and that. And this is showing that you took that key that is sitting over here in the corner, right there, and that door that was once closed and locked to you that you saw as a huge roadblock for your success, you unlocked it and said, the hell with your door, I'm walking through it. It's going to walk you into all your success. You know, the appreciation, the company is going to see you as an asset. They're truly going to value what you bring to it. You know, and when you come in this Queen of Pentacles energy, it's like a light that you bring, right? When you walk in the room and you lighten up everybody, they're like, oh, so glad you're here. I don't know what to do with this. And you're going to be like, all right, no problem. What you got? We'll sort it out. We'll figure out the solution. You don't sit there and dwell on the problem. Oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You're not doing those things. You're like, I hear you. Let's fix it. We got this, right? We'll move forward. When you take that type of approach with everyone, including yourself, everyone is going to be like, wow, what happened to so-and-so? What happened to this Scorpio that, you know, they used to like cut our head off when we screwed up, and they would jump the gun and be like, what the hell? You know, and they could tend to sting you every once in a while and be like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Now the stinger's put away and they're just walking through being a cool ass cat, right? You know, and when you do that, people are going to be magnetized. They're going to be inspired. And that's how true leaders lead. You know, you don't force people to do it your way. You inspire them to do it your way. And they're like, man, I really like how they're doing things now. I really like being around them. I really enjoy their energy. They fix this for me. They fix that for them. You know, they're going around, bouncing around. They're just fixing everything everywhere they go. People are starting to notice. So you've been putting in the hard work. When you have the Nine of Pentacles, it shows that you're not only are you doing this for yourself, but you're sharing it with your team. The Nine of Pentacles can tend to be a selfish card in a way. You know, it's a single card and you're just focusing on what you need at the time. But in this case, it's a little bit different because you're taking these pentacles down and you're like, this is how I handled it. This is how you can handle it. And you're sharing that wisdom. That's why the bird is here. Birds are messengers and they share wisdom and knowledge and they spread it around, kind of thing. So in this case, it is a little bit different than the traditional meaning of the Nine of Pentacles because you're bringing it to a whole nother level. And I hear this from Spirit. Well done. Absolutely. That's what we fucking wanted, you know, right? So what else do you need to know? What else do you have going on? So even though you were dealing with this energy, you rose above it. And that's really, really hard. When you feel like you're being attacked from so many different angles, it's real easy to go inside that box and just be like, leave me the fuck alone. You didn't do that. You know, you came out and said, you know what? All of these things can be fixed. You know, it's whether we all want to come together and put in the real effort to really, really fix it. Where was the system broken? When did we start running into a problem? Was it way back here? Then fine, let's go back to that point and be like, how can we do that better? And then do it better and right moving forward. That's all you can do. You can't always fix everything perfectly on that one, but as you're moving forward into the next project and the project after that, be like, this is where we screwed up last time. Awareness, right? And you teach that awareness to others. Oh, this is where we got it wrong. Okay. This is where your Two of Swords is coming in. You've got an Emperor here in reverse. Ooh. All right. I'm going to put it right over here because that's where the energy is coming from. You have a boss who doesn't like this, right? You have a boss who is like, he feels intimidated by you stepping up, stepping into the light and fixing what they couldn't. So while your boss was going around breaking the hammer over people's heads and doing this and that and acting like a 5-year-old child, who wasn't getting their way, right? What does that fix, right? They are not going to be pleased. And you're going to start to feel some heat from this, right? You're going to feel a little bit of stress, pressure. Now, you need to recognize that even though they're the Emperor, you're the Queen of Pentacles. Now, look at this woman in her face, right? Does she look bothered? She doesn't even have her eyes open. She don't care, right? This person can throw their fit. They can go around acting like a fucking child and this and that. And you're just going to sit there in your peaceful energy and be like, I've got this. There was a mistake right there. You're right about that. But we've got a plan going forward on how to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Now, you can even be as audacious to say, you know what? If you want to stop this, then you could start being part of the solution too. That would be great. Anytime now, Yeah, it's going to piss them off. Fine. But how do you correct a 5-year-old's behavior? Do you allow it to continue or do you speak up? Now, if you just allow them to kick and throw their fit and drool all over themselves and spit on other people, now they're just ruining the company morale, right? They're ruining everyone because they're having a bad day, because they don't know how to fix it, because they don't have the emotional maturity to handle a team. And all they can do is, the problem, the problem, the problem, the problem. We're like, dude, we see it. We're not blind, right? We see the problem. Why don't you start putting out suggestions on how to fix it? We'll throw out suggestions how to fix it. And then maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle and find a real solution. The best solution for the whole company, right? But you acting like this is not helping, and it can be just said that calm, that easily, and put them in their place. Grow up. Be a fucking leader, We can't say that, right? But sometimes it needs to be heard. That's why your lovely Emperor in reverse has Judgment in reverse as well on the bottom of the deck. So, I don't care who you are. There's always someone above you who's watching. And they're going to be watching you in your Queen of Pentacles energy, actually fixing things, actually getting things done. And other people are going to be like, man, did you see how that Scorpio handled the boss? Man, that was impressive. Now that's going to go around the shop. And that's going to go back down to headquarters. And that's going to go to the top dog there. And this dog here, our Emperor in reverse, our little childish fit-throwing little fucker, might get what's coming to him. This is divine judgment. It has been called. Whether it was called by you or it was just called by the divine in your spirit team or whatever it was called. And it has been granted. Their karma is going to rebound on themselves. Their little piss-ass fit, someone's going to drop that hammer right on their fucking head. And they may not have a job anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about that promotion in the very beginning. How much of a promotion do you really want? Are you ready for it? Spirit is saying when you stay in this Queen of Pentacles energy, you're more than ready for it. When you step into that much power, it can tend to go to our heads, and then we're like, I'm almighty, I can do this, I can do that, I got a pay raise, I got this, I got that. You know, the Queen of Pentacles isn't doing that. She's sitting there and she's holding her big, beautiful coin, still just doing her, and she doesn't change her role. She just keeps finding more solutions. She keeps staying in the peaceful energy. She keeps staying connected to all that is. And when you lead through that type of mannerisms, everyone's going to want to follow. Even the janitor, even the person walking down the street, they're going to be like, dude, I want to be like that guy. How do I get there? You know? And they're going to start coming to you. They're going to be like, what did you do? What are you doing different? Can I do it too? And you're going to be like, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're going to show them. Right? Because you don't sit on your wealth. You don't sit on your wisdom. We share it with others, and that brings in more. More and more and more. It's the ones who are greedy with it, and it's like, this is mine. I'm going to sit on it like a fucking troll. It's my success. No one's going to take it. You know, that's when you're fucking putting it out there and like, you know, anybody can fucking take it from you then. But when you take it and you share it with everyone, you make your team stronger and everything around you, you're building a foundation that even if one comes for you, 50 are going to stand up and go, you get rid of them, you can fucking take us with you. Because damn, he fucking turned around this whole company. And you're going to get rid of him for what? Because this guy's throwing a fucking fit? Have you realized what this guy's been doing? And they're going to fucking sell his ass down the river. Bye. Bye. That's how teams stick together. People don't realize, you know, that there's strength in numbers. You know, and when you step up, others are going to come with you. They want to be a part of it. And they're going to believe in you. And when they believe, and, you know, it's kind of like when, when we were attacked, everyone went to hold up the flag. And when one fell, another one went to hold up the flag. And when that one fell and three more fell and da-da-da, everyone went to hold up that one flag. It's going to be just like that. You're going to have a support system and you're going to be like, I'm honored. Thank you. We stand together as a company now, not just one individual and one person's success. It's all of our success. It's all of our failures that we fixed. Still going back to your Emperor in reverse here. They have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So they're going to look back after this judgment's handed out, right? Not before. They're going to look back and they're going to be like, oh shit, they were right the entire time. I was looking at the entire thing with a blindfold on. I had rope all around myself. I felt the pressure and this and that. And then I allowed that pressure to destroy my own team, to destroy my own job. They're going to see the other side, which the other person is not tied up. The other person's sitting there like the Queen of Pentacles is here and be like, I was in the wrong energy. I was leading the wrong way. Now, when this person comes back around, which they probably will, right? And it kind of depends on what energy they come back in. But how you treat them matters. So fine, they were wrong. They were an ass, this and that, da da da. You should still show compassion to this person. Even though they were a dick to you, right? When you show compassion for these types of people, they're going to be like, man, I thought you were going to rub it in my face. I thought you were just going to be like, ha, 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 I fucking win. That's what they would have done. That's what the 5-year-old would have done, right? You're going to stand there and be like, you know what? I've been where you are. I know what kind of pressure you're under, you know, but there's another way. And it's not too late for you to change as well. And offer them your hand. I offered it to everyone else here. Of course, I would offer it to you. So help them take that blindfold off. Help them free themselves from their ropes, from this man self prison that they've created in their mind, and they don't know how to escape it because they're so tightly inside this box that they've got so many illusions around them that they can't even see the truth anymore. But if someone comes up and says, you know what, you're going to be okay, and this is how you can fix these things. And it doesn't happen overnight, right? But you remove one strand of the rope at a time, and as you release those ropes, they fall off, and then you can reach up and pull that blindfold down, and they're going to have a whole new perspective on how they see you, how they see their lives, and how they move forward from that point on. So, yeah, Scorpio, you've got a lot on your plate. There's no doubt about it. But you've got this. All you got to do is stand in what you know, right? I feel that that's it for now. All right, well, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. If you find that there's someone else who needs to hear this message, go ahead and share it. Don't force it on people, but if you feel guided to share it, then please do. If you want to comment on how things are going for you at work and, you know, and how you've been leading, and so that way other people can take your suggestions and put them into work, please do. Because we need many more leaders just like you, right? Well, until next time, in love and light, you guys.